Breaking news for every SSI and SSDI recipient in America. Before March ends, there is something you absolutely need to check about your Social Security payments. If you receive Supplemental Security Income, SSI, or Social Security Disability Insurance, SSDI, what happens in the next few days could directly affect how much money hits your bank account and when. And if you're not paying attention right now, you could find yourself completely caught off guard at a time when you can least afford it. Whether you're living on a fixed income, caring for a loved one, or simply trying to make ends meet, this update is for you. So don't go anywhere. Stay right here, because what we're about to break down could save you from a financial shock before this month is over. Welcome back. Or if this is your first time here, welcome. This channel exists for one reason and one reason only: to make sure that Social Security recipients, seniors, and people living with disabilities never get left behind when it comes to important updates about their income and benefits. We know how much your monthly payment means. For millions of Americans, SSI and SSDI aren't just checks in the mail. They are lifelines. Their rent, their groceries, their medication. They're the difference between making it through the month and falling behind. That's why we break down every change, every schedule shift, every update from the Social Security Administration in plain English, clearly and honestly, so you always know exactly what to expect. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button right now. Tap the bell icon so you never miss a critical update. This channel is your resource, your protection, your early warning system. Now, let's get into what you need to know before March ends. The March payment situation. What's happening and why it matters. Here's what's going on. March is a crucial month for both SSI and SSDI recipients. And the timing of your payment this month depends entirely on which program you're enrolled in, and in some cases, which day your payment is typically scheduled. Let's start with SSI. SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Payments are typically issued on the first of every month. That's the standard. But when the first falls on a weekend or a federal holiday, the Social Security Administration moves the payment forward, meaning you get paid early before that weekend or holiday. Now, here's where March gets important. April 1st falls on a Tuesday in 2025. That means your regular April SSI payment will be issued right on time on April 1st. But what about March? You may have already received your SSI payment for April 2025 early at the very end of March, specifically on March 31st, 2025. Why? Because the SSA sends out the April payment early when April 1st is close to a weekend or in a situation where early processing is needed. Wait, does that mean 2 payments in March? Yes. For SSI recipients, this can feel like a windfall. 2 deposits showing up in the same month. One at the beginning of March, your March payment, and one right at the end of March, your early April payment. It can feel like you're suddenly flush with money, but here's the critical part. That second payment is not extra money. That is your April payment arriving early, which means, and we need to say this clearly, there will be no SSI payment in April. None. 0. Your next payment after that March 31st deposit won't come until May 1st. This is one of the most misunderstood and emotionally difficult aspects of SSI payment scheduling. People see 2 deposits and think something good happened, only to be blindsided when no payment arrives in April. Let's talk about what this means in real life. Imagine this. Maria is 67 years old. She lives alone in a small apartment. She relies entirely on her SSI payment to cover rent, utilities, and groceries. On March 31st, she sees a deposit hit her account. She's relieved. She thinks, oh, good. They sent me something extra this month. So she pays a bill she'd been putting off. She buys a few extra groceries. She even helps her grandson with a small expense. Then April comes, no deposit. She checks her bank app, nothing. She calls her daughter, confused and frightened. Why didn't I get paid this month? This happens to thousands of people every single time SSI payments are shifted, and it can cause real financial hardship, missed rent, overdrafts, late fees, and a lot of unnecessary stress. Now let's talk about SSDI. SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, operates on a slightly different schedule than SSI. SSDI payments are issued based on your birth date, not on a fixed first of the month schedule. Here's how it breaks down. If your birthday falls between the 1st and 10th of any month, your SSDI payment arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. If your birthday falls between the 11th and 20th, your payment arrives on the 3rd Wednesday. If your birthday falls between the 21st and 31st, your payment arrives on the 4th Wednesday of the month. For March 2025, here's what that looks like. 2nd Wednesday of March, March 12th, for birthdays, 1st 10th. 3rd Wednesday of March, March 19th, for birthdays, 11th 20th. Fourth Wednesday of March, March 26th, for birthdays 21st to 31st. These dates are set in advance by the SSA and do not change based on holidays in March, unless a specific Wednesday falls on a federal holiday, which is rare. So if you're an SSDI recipient, your payment should arrive on one of those 3 Wednesdays. If you haven't received it yet, check which group you fall into and verify the correct date. What about people who receive both SSI and SSDI? Some recipients receive both SSI and SSDI. This is sometimes called concurrent benefits. If this applies to you, then you need to pay attention to both schedules. You may receive your SSDI payment on your designated Wednesday in March and your SSI payment on the 1st, with a potential early April SSI payment arriving on March 31st. This is where things can get especially confusing. Multiple deposits, different amounts, different dates. It can be hard to track, especially if you're managing health challenges on top of financial ones. The amount, how much are people receiving? In 2025, SSI recipients are receiving up to $960 per month for individuals and up to $1,450 per month for eligible couples. These amounts reflect the 2025 cost of living adjustment, or COLA, which was 2.5% this year. For SSDI, the amount varies based on your work history and lifetime earnings. The average SSDI benefit in 2025 is approximately $1,180 per month, though some recipients receive more or less depending on their specific situation. These may not sound like large sums of money to some people, but for the millions of Americans who depend on these payments as their sole source of income, every dollar counts. Every single day of the payment schedule matters. Why is this happening? The bigger picture. The SSA sets these schedules to manage the enormous volume of payments they process every month. We're talking about tens of millions of people receiving benefits across the country. Managing that kind of payment infrastructure means dates occasionally shift, especially around weekends, holidays, and end-of-month dates. These shifts aren't designed to confuse you, but they can, and that's exactly why you need to stay informed. Here's what you need to do right now. Step 1. Check your payment dates. Log into your My Social Security account at ssa.gov. You can view your payment history and upcoming scheduled deposits. Make sure the dates align with what you're expecting. Step 2. If you receive SSI, look at your March bank statements right now. Did you receive 2 deposits, one early in March and one around March 31st? If yes, that second deposit is your April payment. Mark it clearly. Label it in your mind. This is April's money. Do not spend it as if it's extra. Step 3. Create a simple budget buffer. If you received your April SSI payment early on March 31st, you have, at most, 31 days before your next payment arrives in May. That means you need to make sure that money stretches across all of April. Rent, utilities, food, medications, transportation. Write it down, literally. Take a piece of paper or open a notes app and list out your major expenses for April. Then look at what came in on March 31st and make sure it covers those expenses. Step 4, don't panic, but don't be caught off guard either. If you know the payment won't arrive in April, you can plan for it. Tell your landlord in advance if you know rent timing could be tight. Look into whether your area has emergency food banks or utility assistance programs just in case. Step 5, stay connected to trusted information sources. Misinformation spreads fast online. There are people and websites that will tell you there's a bonus check or an extra payment coming, and that is simply not true for most recipients. Always verify updates through the official SSA website at ssa.gov or through trusted channels like this one. A word of caution about scams. Every time a Social Security payment update makes headlines, scammers come out in full force. They send fake texts, make phone calls claiming to be from the SSA, and send emails with links that steal your personal information. Remember this, the Social Security Administration will never call you and ask for your Social Security number. They will never text you asking you to click a link. They will never threaten to suspend your benefits unless you provide payment. If you receive a suspicious communication claiming to be from the SSA, hang up or delete it and report it to oig.ssa.gov. Protect yourself. Protect your income. Be skeptical of anything that sounds too good or too alarming to be true. This channel is dedicated to making sure you always know what's coming before it hits. You shouldn't have to discover a missing payment by staring at an empty bank account. You shouldn't have to panic and search the internet for answers in the middle of a stressful moment. That's why we're here. Every update, every schedule change, every SSA announcement, broken down clearly and honestly so you can stay informed and stay protected. If this video helped you, please take 5 seconds right now to hit that subscribe button. It's free, and it means that the next time a payment update like this one comes out, you'll be the first to know. Share this video with someone you love, a parent, a sibling, a neighbor, anyone you know who receives SSI or SSDI. You could be saving them from a financial shock they didn't see coming. And if you have questions, drop them in the comments below. We read everyone. This community is here to support each other. Let's bring it home with a clear summary. If you receive SSI, you may have already received your April 2025 payment early on March 31st. That is not extra money. There will be no SSI deposit in April. Your next payment will arrive in May. Plan accordingly. If you receive SSDI, your March payments are scheduled based on your birthday, either March 12th, March 19th, or March 26th. Check your schedule and verify your deposit has arrived or is on its way. If you receive both, pay close attention to both schedules. Multiple deposits can be confusing. Label each one and budget carefully. The most important thing we want you to take away from this video is simple. You are not alone. Millions of Americans are navigating these same questions, the same confusing schedules, and the same financial pressures. And this channel exists to make sure you always have clarity. Take a breath, check your account, make a plan, and know that we'll be here with the next update the moment it matters. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay informed, and we'll see you in the next one.